crap. Hold on. Am I loud and clear, or am I? Because apparently I lost connection. Okay, hey Craig, how's it going, man? Okay, so I'm trying to get good connection, but the problem is where I'm at kind of takes the connection away. So, okay, so can everybody hear me? Can somebody give me a thumbs up or something? Hey Matthew, evening Tommy, all clear. Okay, good. All right, because I know it takes a second. Okay, hey, what's up, Invisible Man? Okay, so I want to talk about something that was it was part of this morning's article, but there's a question that was asked to me over on Patreon, and I want to be able to dive into that story a little bit more. Right now, Doge is stuck in a in a precarious spot, because as Elon Musk brings in artificial intelligence, he's basically gathering all of our personal data. All of that personal data, and what Donald Trump is doing, most likely, at least the leading indicators say that that's what he's doing, because in order to win the AI arms race, you've got to be able to integrate AI into your government, because that's just part of the way it works, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how else to write it. But the thing that is that really concerns me is that we now no longer have privacy. The Department of Homeland Security is putting out drones and looking out for dissidents. The Department of Homeland Security is also taking all of this information that Doge is collecting and using that to be able to sift through to be able to find dissidents, and those that could be a threat. So therefore, they're already the bureaucracy is already reinforcing itself, because all the algorithm knows is as soon as anybody that leads these any indicators against current policy needs to be dealt with, and it doesn't matter. It just takes current policy and follows its instructions. Okay, so this is something that could be very dystopian very quick. And the thing is we don't have privacy anymore. I mean, we used to be able to go to a point where we could have some privacy, but even that privacy is being taken away now. um uh yes, Greece, it is. So I mean, for those of you that are very concerned about your Fourth Amendment right, because I mean, I've done I, way back when I used to write on blogs and stuff like that, I used to talk about the Fourth Amendment, and that was one of my big things, because I had to look into it to see kind of what was going on and all that stuff. So it was what it was. But here's the thing: the reason with privacy being such a scarce thing, that is something that, to me, as an off-gridder, as somebody who's been formerly homeless, who that wants to be able to have the ability to have anonymity in a system that doesn't really allow you anonymity anymore. How do you carve out pockets of privacy? I mean, yeah, you could turn off your phone, go out in the middle of nowhere, but what about in your daily life? Where are your private points? So one of the reasons, and I saw this coming, and this has always been something that's been very important to me, is that I have always been privacy conscious, because that's something for me. There's a reason why you want to remain private in your effects, and a lot of it has to do with how it's going to be used against you in this modern era, with the adoption of artificial intelligence in the United States government and its bureaucracy. Okay, and so therefore privacy becomes so much more important. And so over on Patreon, there is a disclaimer in the $5 tier, which is Rebel Watcher, and that disclaimer says that anything and everything in here is to be kept private. You are not allowed to speak about it outside of Patreon. So even the conversations I have in Patreon, I keep my mouth shut as best as possible. I don't leave any indication about any conversations I have on Patreon, because that's a private place where we go to have a private conversation, where we can actually let down our guard and be okay with each other, because it requires it. One, you're behind a paywall, but the penalty is $50,000. So if anybody breaches that, that is the penalty. And because it's in the agreement and you were the one that signed up, and it's not hard to figure out, tie a name to an alias. Okay. Oh shit, am I stuck? Okay. God damn it. I hate fucking. Can you guys hear me, or is something wrong? I'm really starting to get pissed off. I'm also trying to start keeping my mouth shut and certain things because nothing goes away on the internet 5x5. Okay, because I keep hearing Beth say, I saw Beth say something. I was like, okay. Okay. Anyways, especially not under my actual identity. Yes. That is extremely important. And that's why you saw what's Stephanie this morning. You kind of saw her slip up because she comes from a society where everybody uses your legal name. Well, when you want anonymity, you go by an alias. Your identity in this modern age is paper deep. So as long as you can create the paper trail to prove the identity, you can be whoever the hell you want to. That's the great thing. But now they're trying to get rid of that, that ability to kind of go incognito and just kind of blend in and get the hell out of Dodge. They're taking that away from you through all of the technology that they're starting to implement for the government. And so again, this is why I say, if you're going to come over to Patreon, it is private. There are certain things that I say over there because that is my inner circle. You guys, if I talk to you guys in chat, that's because you guys are part of my inner circle. Um, and as part of my inner circle, there are certain things that I've got to put up for my own safety, such as certain things that happen around here. Because if something does happen to me, I need to have some sort of breadcrumb. And so sometimes I put things up there. I've done it. I did it on trail, and I've done it. I've done it here as well. I was just looking at property in holy shit, cheap, like 30 acres for 25K. Yeah, it's not that expensive. If you really want to go off grid, you can really get a lot. It's not bad. So I mean, you can sell your 401k and pay it off, and then you got a place to live for the rest of your life, and you can sell your works or whatever. But anyways, with that being said, that is something that I am, not only am I very that's important to me, but it's also something that I want you, if you become a subscriber over there, understand that is our safe space. That is our place where we can sit out and say what we want to say. Now, it's still out in public, but you have a lot more safety to be able to say things there than you do on YouTube, because one of my subscribers, his name's Joe Morgan. He was introduced to me through Tomcat. When you guys saw Tomcat the other day, he was introduced to me through Tomcat, and he he does not, like, when he posts a comment, YouTube does not notify me. It tries to, like, pretend that it didn't happen. It allows him to post the comment goes public. But what I'll see is I'll see an odd number and I'll go, wait a minute, I know I've responded to every single comment. Let me go in there and check. And usually it's Joe Morgan, and that's how I find him. And this is how the system will silence you and suppress you over time. Even this channel, if I say the wrong thing at the wrong time with the wrong politics, I'm canceled. And so that's why it's also important for me to build a community over there on Patreon, a group of people that follow my train of thought, and want to come over there and be part of a bigger community. Because here's the thing, I know that there are people around here where I live here in Arizona that do not want me talking about property here. And so therefore, out of respect for them, I'm trying to kind of walk that fine line. But in reality, I want I think within each of the 3 states that Stephanie has, it would be nice to have about 5 or 6 of you guys around each one of those. That way we have a small, tight-knit community, because everything is about to fall apart. The federal government is falling apart. Right now, they're predicting that gold will be over $5,000 by the end of the year. I told you, once gold hits $5,000, this dollar is zero. It's worthless. It's decoupled. It is no longer the world reserve currency. We therefore lose another 30% of value on top of the value we already had. Plus, all those dollars come roosting home. This is going to be the inconsequence. Also, I was just coming across a report that the propaganda from the United States is that, oh yeah, Japan is coming and they're going to they're gonna do a deal with us. Everybody wants to do a deal with us, but no, Japan. Tuck, are you sexier on Patreon? A little bit. You know, I show my purple eye, so I'm gonna leave that alone because I know he's gonna go over there and look, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, got you. But anyway, anyways, um, there are somebody remind me where I was because I kind of lost track. We must protect the tuck leader. Yes, okay. Blocked from getting a notification. Yes, people can also borrow against the account and keep the account. Okay. Oh yeah, 401k. Yeah, you could do something like that. I'm like, hey, what's up, Matthew? Honda and Toyota teaming up to, oh yes, Japan. Okay, thank you. So what Japan is doing is um is they're saying we're not going to do any more concessions. We're done trying to concede because he's caught in a rock and a hard spot because he's trying to protect his country's agriculture and protect that. And so what Trump wants him to do is to throw his agriculture aside and take the American agriculture, basically doing the same thing to the world that's been happening the whole time. But anyways, Americans can come in there, otherwise he's going to cut it off. Also, he wants to cut the car manufacturing. That's pretty much the only thing that supports Japan. He's cutting Japan's feet out from under him. Okay. And so that in itself is going to backfire. What that's doing is that's pushing Japan towards China. Now, Japan is operating with NATO, but give it 6 months or a year because I mean, once the 90 days are up, tariffs go right back up. So, this is something to be considered about. But the American dollar is on its way out the door and really isn't going to last much longer. You better also, there's a global food shortage going on. Yes, Popular Preparedness talks about it, but here's the truth: 70% of crops that are affected, of the shortness of crops that we're having, is due to weather. Okay, when I was on my first ride, when I was going through Florida on the what was it, the Southern Tier bike trail, I ran across a peanut farmer, and this peanut farmer, he told me, he's like, look, I got a flood and because there was too much rain that year, and then I got half the crop. And normally, because it was scarcity because of the weather around here in the States, he'd be able to at least recoup his losses. No, what the federal government does is it undercuts its own farmers, goes over to Brazil and says, well, Brazil had a big surplus and they've got the best price on the market, so therefore it forces the US farmers to sell it for the same price, because and then they end up taking a loss. Okay, and he had that happen to him a couple years prior. I think it was like 2019. I also ran across another farmer when I was on the Buckeye Trail, because that heat wave that we had last summer, his corn didn't grow for a couple of weeks. It didn't grow 2 inches. He's like, yeah, my corn is like 2 inches short. If he would have either had a late harvest or lost a lot of his corn. You are having this extreme weather that is starting to have great effects and catastrophes on the global food supply. On top of the trade war going on top of war going on in Ukraine and Russia, on top of, oh, did you guys hear the what's going on between Hezbollah and Israel? Oh my, that's interesting. Between Hezbollah and Israel, let's see. Hezbollah has said, we will put our arms in a secured place and we will put down our arms and we will give you peace if you remove IDF from here and let us govern ourselves. And we'll even release all the prisoners. We'll give you everything you want, essentially. And you know what the Israelis said? Nah, that just doesn't meet our standards. And they were just caught over there trying to get Donald Trump to go to war with Iran. And now with the Chinese starting to ratchet up support with the Houthis, they just did two attacks on U.S. aircraft carriers, and we will never hear if they actually get hit, because being the son of a soldier, I heard stories from those that were at Fort Hood before my old man and I showed up. There was a big tornado that went through Fort Hood, took out a whole Apache wing. Like, I think one or two of them. I mean, because that is a major base for the U.S. Army. And the thing in the news was nothing happened, all of our stuff was protected, we're all good, because they can't let people know that weak or that damage happened, because therefore it would give opportunity for our adversaries to see weakness, that now we're down some technology that would have normally given us an edge. And so this is something that we're not going to actually get any real information. I heard a rumor. I can't say that I can confirm that it's true or not. I'd rather talk about this behind a paywall, but essentially, I remember it was a couple years ago when two a U.S. ship and a Chinese ship had a near miss. From what I've heard through the grapevine of people that know things, that wasn't a near miss. The the Chinese the U.S. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I can't. I got to be quiet. But this type of stuff is going on. The Chinese are asserting the South China Sea. They're trying to reestablish their Belt and Road. A lot of the world is going over to the Chinese yuan, not because the Chinese yuan's the sexiest dollar on the block. It's because American politics has been so crazy over the last couple of years, to a point where I mean, look, what we got Donald Trump and Tariff Wars 1.0. And then we got Joe Biden, who was, the crime family. It was like being ran by a mafia. And then now we've got Trump Tariff Wars 2.0. And it's even worse. And now we're completely decoupled from China. There's no real deterrence. All the deterrents that would have kept us from going to war are being cut off. There's being an essential embargo. So that even affects me, because I got something from China, and I know that I can't get it in the country, and so therefore I can't even market it on this channel and get the affiliate link, because there's an embargo. Nobody's going to pay a 245% tariff on a $25 thing and pay $45 for it before you even pay tax. I mean, that's just crazy. So nobody's going to be buying anything from China. China's going to suffer a short-term loss, but they're going to end up making it through. Okay, this is really the news of the day, and I think I'm going to talk. Is there stimulating conversation about satisfying bowel movements and the wonder of flatulence behind the paywall? No, no, no. Thank God, no. Unless you want to talk about like my Giardia, I think that was behind a paywall. Speaking of flatulence, has anyone had theirs change flavors midstream? Yeah, me, they're asking for a friend. Ah, I love you, Bucknut. So glad to see you. Mm. So for those of you that were here and that have watched the live stream this morning, um, I would like to say thank you for being so kind to Stephanie, and for all the questions that you asked. And it looks like some of you liked what you heard, and congratulations if you end up going that way. And I want to say thank you very much to Beth, because she kept chat rolling for me, because I wasn't able to pay attention because I couldn't see. And thank you very much to my moderators, who have been doing a very good job lately. Don't hesitate to put somebody in timeout. We don't want any drama. We don't need any bots, because here's another story that's on the realm. Another story that's on the realm is that we've got so much AI disinformation going on. Part of the whole thing to go to a world ID or a digital ID, where we all sit there and prove that we're human and stuff like that. Um, you're at work, and stuff like that. Okay, okay, I'll read it later. I can't. Hmm. So with everything that's going on, the big push is going to be, because there's so many AI agents, because every marketing firm, every small business, every large corporation is now just they basically got drunk on the punch. And as they got drunk on the punch, they're adopting it and using it in a way to where it spams everybody. Because at first they're going to get a lot of sales. They're like, oh, I should do this more, and so therefore they do it more and more and more. And watch it dwindle, because people get hip to it and go like, I don't like this. And all it's going to do is just kind of like it's just going to make it worse, is all it's going to do, because so many people are going to be dependent on it. in order to be able to make sales, because they see everybody else doing it. So now they feel that they got to do it. So now they saturate the market and basically burn the market out. Right now, these AI chatbots are burning out social media. Social media is something that will be completely different in about 5 years because of the whole thing. Like if Sam Altman does his chat GPT with a social media platform, and you've got to prove that you're human to be able to post on there, a lot of people are going to go to that because they're so tired of seeing the bots that they won't even think about the consequences of what they're doing. Because my first thought when I thought about it and I heard the argument, I was like, yeah, that'd be a great idea. I mean, under those circumstances, I'd go do that myself. But it took me a minute to step back and go, oh, wait on and hold on a minute. But I could see how people, in following their knee-jerk reaction, would take on to something like this. Okay, and so all of this, between the global economic collapse, the collapse of the US dollar, the advent of AI, the integration into government, you're getting this perfect shitstorm. And when we come out on the other side, it's not going to be pretty, because right now, because of our political civil war, because of our political infighting, we have told the rest of the world that their money is no longer safe here. Instead of sitting here and being civil, okay, so you could say, how do you destroy a country? You destroy a country by making it no longer stable to be able to be a safe haven to hold your cash, to know that it's going to get some sort of value and be the shiniest turd in the bowl. And when that goes away, because you've got political infighting between the woke left and the Trump right, and then everybody in between that has their own different ideology and their craziness that they got coming up with and all that crap, what it does is it creates this shitstorm, and then nobody wants to sit there and see what it is that we're doing. What's up, butt phone? Nobody wants to nobody wants to put their money in a country like Kenya's having a civil war. Do you want to put your money there? Is your money safe? How likely is your money going to be there when you come asking for it? Well, you know what? The United States is no different. And so we have done this to ourselves because we've allowed ourselves to be bait and switched, to be politicized, to be gaslighted, to be incited, to be intentionally divided. The reality of the situation is everybody here wants the same thing. You, me, all my neighbors, people in China, people in India, people in Europe. We all want the same thing. I want a place to live. I want food in my belly, and I want to be able to have a few amenities in life. Okay, some people are greedier than others. Well, you know what? Sucks to be you. But all in all, we just want to be able to have a good job, a nice place to live, and be able to enjoy a little bit of the fruits of our labor. Every citizen in this, or every human being on this planet, feels that way. Okay, so I mean, it's just we got to realize that this politics shit, it's just so that they can get the results that they want. Because it's the inevitable fact of what happens when you play politics and you have a two-party system. This is why, prior to the Democrats and the Republicans basically taking complete control over our system, we used to have a multi-party system. We need to add like another 200 members to the House of Representatives to be able to properly represent the people and their different little factions within the different communities. Okay, and it just there's no real representation for the people anymore. These politicians, in order to get elected, they have to do the us versus them, and eventually what happens is the us versus them turns into mob mentality, turns into civil war. And it's not even by design, it's by unintended consequences due to gross negligence. That's really what it's at. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. And hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, compared to what I was doing last week, what do you think of today's? Okay, let's see what you guys say, because I know I was laughing at some of the stuff Jeremy was saying. Man, you guys are really lighting up chat. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. Use Cash Matthew, who won't see it. Yeah, you're right. It's like the robocalls have ruined the telephone. Yes, pretty much. Um, out of all Stephanie's properties, the ones in the area are most attractive so far as building zoning. What's your position on having neighbors? I'd like to come out your way. I don't mind as long as you're civil. Like everybody wants. Here's the thing, Matthew. We come out here to get away from society. Yeah, we're gonna have our friends, we're gonna have our neighbors, but you know, we got our own things to do, all our own stuff like that. I don't mind. I encourage those that are really, um, I guess you could call it not even necessarily my super fans, but the people that are invested in the community here and want to be part of it and a bigger part of it. Yes, I'd love to see a few of you scattered around here. Clyde's coming here. If you came here, that'd be another neighbor. I don't bother me, but just understand, people out here aren't going to be as social as you might think they are in a city. People will say hi to you, they'll be nice to you, but quite frankly, nobody wants to, pretty much everybody's pissed off at the world and they just want to be left alone in a have peace and quiet. um but if you the video that I put up for her 3 properties, you'd be within a mile of me if you got one of those, but I'd recommend getting 2 of them. But yeah, I could basically walk to the top of the hill and see your property. So she's got some properties that are close to me. um Now, being on top of me, please, I don't want you to be like right next door to me because I want to buy the next door lots. But past that, yeah, I'm okay with it. All right. So let's see. Tuck, I double dog, but dare you to look through the older messages. Okay. Um, okay. Differently for easy and sure. You shaped it, bro. Is the shitstorm gonna make it harder to pick up chicks? No, it'll be easier because they will need you for safety and security. See, that's the way it works out in the homeless realm. Is if you're what's up outdoors? Um, okay, um, but what was the question? Is a shitstorm harder to pick up chicks? Let's see here. In reality, no, because here's the way it works for homeless women, and I mean this kind of even worked for um uh what Tuck, you don't want me on top of me. What the fuck? Not unless you're a female. Um uh, but no, the thing, like even with Farm Girl, it's like when a woman has nothing, she attaches herself to a man or an animal, and she couldn't attach herself to an animal because she didn't have the relationship with her dogs to get him to protect her. And so therefore she kind of relied on a man, just like the girl I dated in Gainesville, because they want safety and security and comfort. And even in when you're down in the dirt, if you can give them like a wet rag to wipe off every once in a while, you'll pick up women all the time, because that's what they really want out here is safety and security and a guy that's going to take care of them. But most of the women that make it out here are freaking crazy. Tuck, I'm not female. I identify as a burrito supreme. Burrito supreme, huh? Extra sour cream. Near friends, but we like our space. Yes. In the same van life, we perk. Okay, what? Okay. Hey, prefer. So water has to be shipped in. Yes, water has to be shipped in, Mitch. Um, Took a double duck. But the thing is, it's not bad. And I have a company that I go through, and they work with me. If we want to go in on it, like on halves or something like that, and we're all kind of like really close to each other, he can drop off one, like he can fill up my tank, fill up your tank, and do it like that, and say, hey, look, we're just going through so we can use the full 1,000 and save a few bucks. The guy that delivers my water lives out here somewhere, probably about 2-3 blocks down, and he's really cool and I really like him. Although apparently I found out you can pay less for water out here. So okay, Florida has a nudist colonies. I wouldn't do well in a nudist colony. You pay me to put my clothes back on. Mm. uh, uh, I like a choco taco. Nice. There are any nudist colony? No. Winter chicken dinner for that comment. You gotta take him out back and put him out of his misery, Beth. Uh, does Arizona? I don't know. I'm sure you could create a nudist colony out here. I mean, there's no like, yeah. If I go over the hill, I can see people, but people can't see me because I'm kind of down, a little bit down on the hill. So I've got my privacy while still having people like the next block over. And so, yeah, I've walked around here and just like, just a shirt and no pants on because I had to go run and grab something real quick. It happens. But as a nudist colony, I don't know, you can form one out here, but I would recommend that you put up wind walls at the bare minimum. Otherwise, you're just gonna have you're gonna have you're gonna have burrito supremes. That's funny. Mm, okay. So, okay, I like, okay, Tuck, okay. All right, so I got to ask you guys a question. I need an answer. Okay, so I've been experimenting with styles. At first, I did structured, and then I tried the unstructured, but I had the news, or at least the topics pre-memorized for me. And so therefore I would just go through topic by topic, but it would be raw and raw and authentic. Versus tonight, I didn't even although I intended to use my laptop to be able to go through stats and stuff like that. I had enough to say about all of the topics to kind of bring them all into one, to be able to make one kind of like giant clusterfuck of a story, but to make a story. So my question to you guys is, do you like the style tonight, the style I was doing for the last couple of days, or do you like my structured style? So one, if you like my style tonight, two, if you like the style that I was doing before this, and three, if you like my structured content where I script a lot of where my stuff is out. So tell me down in the chat, that way I can get an idea of how you guys like me to format it. So you like it like this, Invisible Man? Right on. Okay. Let's see, I missed something. Okay. I was going to move right next door, but a mile or two away, just in case. It's a good move to have community available in Neptune. I'm also a solitary stoner. Perfect. We'll get along just fine, Matthew. You should come on in. Um, uh, so, I mean, I encourage you. Okay, so Bucknut, you like that one? Kung Fu 5, 1 and 2. Okay, so you guys like it like this. Okay, so this is going to make it a little bit easier on me. Okay, okay. I think mixing it up is good. Okay, prostitution is legal anywhere. Just don't walk the streets or on street corners. Well, prostitution happens. If you're married or you're in a relationship, there's prostitution going on because she ain't spending her money. She wants equality, but she ain't spending her money. So that's the cold hard truth too. So, but hey, if any of you guys want one of these cups, it's down there in the descriptions. T Public is the it should be the link name. But if you want one of these cups, or if you want one of my lead dog t-shirts, you should go on over there and check it out. At the bare minimum, check it out just so you can get a laugh at, and look at Sam's butt, because that's going to be the only place, the only butt you're going to be seeing there, Kung Fu. Okay, so I'm ordering 5. Okay. Van life quartzite. Yeah, there's a news calling in Quartzsite, Arizona during the winter. Wow, really? That's gotta suck. 3 suck, sorry. No, you're good. You're good, Buck. No, everybody, you're not. Okay, so everybody already told me that the structured sucked. I put that in a thing. Now, okay, so you guys like this free form where I take a bunch of different stories and I bring them together and I kind of make a soup with them to kind of connect the dots and kind of show you what's going on, kind of how we're moving. But it seems like every day it's going to be, we're in the middle of a fucking economic collapse, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over the next few days. Okay, it's going to happen over the next few months. It's not going to happen every night. So I'm going to be looking for other topics and stuff like that. I like the hobo rant better. What you talking about this? Sam, what are you bitch? Oh, cheeseburgers over there. To answer your question from earlier, yes, I'm good with you being the small spoon. Okay. Um, okay. So good, Grease. So that's good to know. All right. So I went down there for a couple of months during the winter, but now I moved all over the place. Yeah. Well, you're a traveling van lifer. It's a good thing to be a traveler right now. What will get the yeah, Tuck Rebel Mystery Box should have arrived. Okay, so you guys see that I changed the title from Rebel News to Kitchen Table News. Here's the reason why I did it. Okay, so first of all, there's a brand or a news station called Rebel News that is out of Canada. Not only have I had subscribers tell me, but I've had homeless entrepreneur say, "Hey, I know these guys. I've met them, and these guys are intense. You'd like them." And it's like, okay, so I still got to reach out to them. To keep up with the amount of content that I'm putting out is just like, wow. Okay, but it is what it is. I think, but I've got a plan, and we're going to talk about that plan. But anyway, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit there and because what's going to happen, um, uh, uh, okay, to whoever can answer this question, I will give you a free membership to Digital Homesteader. Whoever answers it first. What movie is this from? Um, what was the fucking question now? Because I was too busy thinking about that. Because, um, uh, shit, I'll remember it in a second. God damn it. I just need to say it and then peanut butter. Yes. Okay. I think its contents right now is going to be this. Okay. God, I hate it when I lose track, but I lost track that time. Sorry about that, guys. Rebellious news. Okay. So, okay. So tell me what movie this is from. You've got McDonald's and then you've got McDonald's. Okay. So what movie is that from? Can anybody tell me? I can tell you who one of the characters is. It's Eddie Murphy. Yeah, some junk to Q public has judgmental ways. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, moments with Mitch. Okay, I will send you a link to a free month that you can add. What well, actually, I'm gonna have to send you one for 90% off because since you're already a paid member, what I'll do is I'll give you a 90% off coupon. Um, that's the only downside of the memberships is until I reach a certain amount, I can't give paid member stuff. So yes, I'll send you a coupon for 90% off. And I'll send you a link to a digital bundle that I think you'll like to from my days on the Appalachia Trail. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Beth. Well, actually, no. Bucknut, would you would you just send me a text note just to remind me that to give Mitch his prize for tonight's Q? So okay, cool. So I'll remember what it was once I see that. But if you could do that for me, so because I got no way to be able to get to that. Debbie Does Dallas? No, not Debbie Does Dallas. Okay, nice. Okay, so every once in a while, I'm gonna be doing giveaways away to those of you that are regular, that are actives, that are here, because you know. Here's the thing: if you're a free member on free or not even a member over on Patreon, I can give away memberships. If you are already a paid member, the maximum discount I can give you is 90%. And so therefore I will give you, it'll be an either or. So I'm going to have to start like including that now on when I say that, but that's the different thing. But anyways, yeah, so I don't want to have the McDonald's issue, Rebel News, Canada, Rebel News, Friar Tuck. So part of what I wanted to do is I wanted to change it. So when this channel already started, so my channel that got deleted was called Jason the Wise. Okay, and I created that. That was the one that got deleted. Well, once it got deleted, I created this channel, but my dad and I were supposed to be doing news together until he realized it required him to actually do any real work. To his credit, he's 65 years old. He's ready to retire and have fun and play video games. But he thought it would be cool until he found out how much work was left. So I decided to repurpose the channel from Kitchen Table News to Hobo Prepper and then the Epoch of Friar Tuck. So the actual email for this is actually Kitchen Table News. So I thought, well, I've already got the branding for it, and Kitchen Table is kind of like this is the conversation you have on a kitchen table. It's not formal, it's not formatted. We're sitting at a kitchen table. There's a lot of psychology that goes into that, and I think that I want to moving forward. I think that I want to do that. Type 1 if you like it, 2 if you don't, 3 if you don't care. Okay, does your dad listen to your posts? He used to, but every once in a while I dog him, and I'm pretty sure he don't want to listen to that. So 3, okay, don't care. 1, okay, 1, okay, all right. 7, okay, or even news. Okay, 7, okay. Well, no, because I don't want. I want to brand it. Okay, because what's gonna happen? This is when I'm looking to do this. Tuck being single who shaves your back and ass crack. That's why I've got that's why I got Sam, is because I put Tootsie Roll paste back there and she loves it. So imagine getting dogged and I'm paying a phone bill your dog done. Yeah, well, my old man and I have issues, and you know, it is what it is. But no, my old man and I, we have a relationship, and it is what it is. And until you know what's going on, you should probably not really comment on it. Um, because yeah, there's a lot more behind that than that. But anyways, Josh, um, thank you for commenting though and giving your 2 cents. Use peanut butter, it's better, so I hear. Yeah, but you know what? The other day I had her under the blanket, right? She she had her head up against my butt crack, and I figured, you know what, because she'd been farting in my face the last couple of nights. So I figured I'd rip one for her. It made the back of her head so warm she kind of moved away and then put her paw on it. She was like, as if that was a way to be able to plug it. It was funny. It's like, yeah, there you go, payback. So, uh, oh god, oh god, Sam and I are like more like brother and sister than like dog and human, because we fight a lot, but we play around too. So, anyways, yeah, because you know she likes to put her ass right near my face, and up until recently, but she likes to put her ass up right up near my face, and then you'll hear this. And you're like, you mother dog. You know, and luckily her gas doesn't stink as bad as other dogs' gas, because I mean she's pretty gassy. So you'll hear it's like, okay, that's tolerable. When she clears the trailer, I will have to move her outside though. That is one thing, because my dad had a dog that did that. Oh my god. But anyways, um anyways, yeah. And now what Sam does is, as soon as she knows I'm about ready to go to bed, she will come in, demand to get under the covers. She will. So the pillow that I prop up on, because I got 2 pillows, so I put one to the side. She now has taken that over. She's sleeping on the damn thing. A buck. No, I'll send you a picture of it. Um, but she's sleeping on a pillow under the blanket, all curled up, nice, cozy, and warm, snoring her butt off. I mean, that's my dog right there. That's my dog. I I told my old man, it's like she thinks she's my girlfriend or something, man. She's sleeping way too close. And the worst part is sometimes she'll come in and then she'll just try and put her nose inside my mouth. So has an idea to consider. Okay, like I'm at Today Show, NBC Nightly News, etc. Yes, that's why I'm doing kitchen table news instead of just doing news. I'm doing kitchen table news, because kitchen table, okay, most business happens at the kitchen table. This is sales knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Most knowledge gets shared at the kitchen table. Most business gets done at the kitchen table, because everything gets shared in the community around the dinner table. So in a way, it is the replacement for the front porch, but instead of for the community, it's for whoever the family is. Okay. And so kitchen table news has that resonance. We're sitting around the kitchen table, we're having a meal, we're having conversation, and we're talking about the topics of the day and giving a realistic approach of it, a common man's approach of it, versus the breaking news. Today we've got da 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 da. Okay. Well, you know, because people don't like that. People are turning that off. I've noticed that when I do more of a shoot from the hip, I go and I research the topic, and then I kind of, you know, formulate my thoughts around it, how I think about it, and then I get on and I do a video on it. I find that I'm getting retention around 50%, which is about 15% more than what I was getting. Um, I think it's print to order, Beth. Oh, the shirts, yes, they are. You have merch ready printed that says Rebellion. No, it's over. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm using T Public. T Public is a print on demand. So what they do is they take a bunch of creators or whoever that want to create shirts and take their designs. Whenever somebody does it, they take the shirt, the color, and the design. They print it on the shirt. They put it in a package and they mail it off. They charge me a specific fee, give me what's left over, and then they also take care of shipping. So all of that gets handled by them. All that I really have to do is create the design, and then you have the ability to sell it. So that's just one thing. Okay, good to know. Certainly got to be whatever trips your trigger. It takes a lot of motivation to keep posting on schedule. Yes. Um, yeah, I noticed that when I get really passionate versus when I get technical, but when I get passionate and I kind of get this, for me, what's going on inside my head is like all of a sudden I see something and it's pissed me off to a point where it's like, okay, I need to explain this because apparently people are too stupid to figure it out. Let's turn him into. Yes. Bucknut explained. Okay, he likes to ramble. Well, sorry. Um, I tend to ramble. That's kind of, you got to be able to ramble if you're going to do YouTube and put out as much content as any prepper does. If you listen to Pinball, you can get the basic of it within a minute and a half. The rest of it is just filler time to make sure that he meets the requirements for ad, because he could say everything he needs to say. Well, the Democrats are at it again. Can you believe they're doing this, 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 this? Okay, well, this is what I think about it. This is what you should probably think about doing. There's really not much you can say. You have to be able to ramble in order to get the watch time and stuff like that. So because I put as much of the meat and potatoes in the first half of the video so that I at least get across my message. And if people want to hear a little bit more of my side thoughts on the topic, or just kind of how it integrates it a little bit deeper, then I kind of tend to expand on that towards the end of the video. But most of everything that you need to hear is in the first 50% of the video, most of the time. Very rare. Rambo alone, bro. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's because it's fun. It's a fun chat, Rebels. Yes. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. Thanks, Sir Jeremy. Love the support, man. Very much appreciated. So, pinball preparedness. Yeah, I listened to Pinball. I'm kind of following his idea. So, but that's just that. All right, so that's kind of the thing. The one last thing that to me, Tuck, is right here. That's what's happening now. Is absolute part of your channel to me. Pinball Prepper. Yes. Pinball Prepper, Pinball Preparedness. He has two channels because during the cough, he was getting demonetized along with a lot of other preppers. So they had to create another channel, which they got both of them monetized. And when they get a strike on one, they just go over to the other. News from a different perspective. New view news. Huh. Mm. Well, I tell you what, I've got I was hovering at about 25% returning returning viewers. So if you've watched one of my videos before, and so you've come back to watch another one, 35%. That is, it tells me I'm doing a damn good job at doing this shift and doing this change. Now I understand why I was struggling. Some of it has to do with just the way things went, but some of it also had to do with I was just on the wrong topic. Laughter is a good medicine. This channel would be boring if you don't have a gift of gab. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really think I have the gift of gab. I can just kind of share my thoughts. I think out loud. So, and don't forget Pinball Sasquatch Hunters. I have not heard of that one. Mm. Um, Okay. Let's see here. Oh, there's one more thing that I wanted to cover. Okay. So I've been talking with Homeless Entrepreneur. You guys know that I work with Homeless Entrepreneur. Oh no, I got two things to cover. Okay. I've been working with Homeless Entrepreneur. And one of the things he says is he's like, because I'm like, I need to get rid of the stigma of homelessness, because I think that what it does for sponsorships and advertisers and stuff like that is it pushes them away. And by pushing them away, um, uh, uh, by pushing them away, then it kind of hurts me financially and forces me to rely on memberships and AdSense instead of being able to fully monetize the channel the way I want it to. Okay, so what he's recommending is that because Professor Tuck sounds more professional, businesses are going to be more wanting to deal with that. By just taking off the epoch of Friar Tuck and just turning it to Professor Tuck, it would help me in the financial area. However, I learned something new with the whole experience with Stephanie today. because she's an indirect sponsor of this channel. Every time she sells a piece of land because of one of you guys, and one of you guys tell her, hey, yeah, I saw it on YouTube, whatever, I get a referral credit, and that gives me a month off of my land payment. And so therefore you get to benefit from it, and I get to benefit from so everybody benefits from it. Everybody wins. Okay. A lot of companies, this is how they're getting rid of their sales force, because this is what they're doing. But anyways, I've got an indirect sponsorship with Stephanie. Okay. And so therefore she was willing to touch me because I built a relationship with her. I was starting to send her business to where she's like, okay, yeah, I doing this becomes more and more in my benefit, because I've sent her probably 2 or 3 people before today. I've sent her 2 or 3 people. Now, however many I've sent to her since today, I don't know. I know that she's got some people calling her, but that's none of my business. She was just letting me know that it was a success, and that she's getting some sort of stuff. And so if I'm going to get sponsorships, I have to be able to produce for those that sponsor it, and to be able to bring them people. But now what I've learned is that I need to pretty much find brands that I can develop a relationship with. And if I really like their brand and it applies to you, then take them on and invite them to be a sponsor. Because I think that will be much better, not only for you guys, but for me as well. And I don't have to worry about it, because now I've got something that can work for me. Okay. Um, Okay. Have you ever tried lizard finger, Chris? Okay. So what my question is do you guys think I should go to just straight Professor Tuck? I already introduced myself as Professor Tuck, so I don't see why the name change is necessary. But this is something that he was very adamant about, and so I just want to make sure that because everybody keeps telling me no. I just want to make sure you guys are still on that page. Is it a yes or a no? 1 for yes, a 2 for no. If I should change it to just Professor Tuck, or does it even matter? Because quite frankly, I think I'm already going by Professor Tuck. But also, I'm trying to make myself more. This segment is sponsored by Chupacabra Defense Systems Corporation. Don't let chupacabras get you. We can help you. Hell yeah. That is a hell of a one. Okay, have you ever tried? Okay. Spelling. She was willing to do what? Okay. She's a great lady, it seems. Yes, she is. She's very. There are many Chinese manufacturers who make bushcrafting items. Yes. Okay. 111. Yes. No. Okay. Name of the channel don't have to be the same thing. Okay. Okay. So, because I am, I am the, but here's the thing though. I do know that some people get turned off with a name change. I've even gotten turned off with a name change, because once you change a name, it becomes harder to find it, because you're looking for a person under the same thing. Yeah, you might be looking for an icon, but you're used to something show up in the feed, and all of a sudden you see a name change, and you're just like, what? So, I mean, on one hand, I wanted to talk to you guys before I even made a decision, because me, I think that it's probably not a good idea. I'm fine doing this. And if they're going to discriminate against me, then I probably don't want to do business with them anyways. I can chase a dollar, or I can have a strong community that ensures that I have the ability um, to find businesses and organizations to present to them that will value them, instead of requiring me to, like, be their puppet. You know what I mean? So Adventures of Professor Tech. Sometimes you teach, but sometimes you give advice. Advice is going to be what folks need when they fight off panic. Yes. Do you want? What do I know? Okay. Name the channel. Okay. Epoch of Fire Tech. I wouldn't do Professor Tech. Okay. I think I'm on board with all you guys. So okay, you guys got good thing. All right. Okay. My next thing is I want to start turning the evening segment into an interview. Okay. I want to be able to have a guest come on for probably about 15, 20 minutes, kind of like I had Stephanie on, to be able to talk about a topic, and probably have it towards the beginning, or maybe even the end of the episode. Who knows? But I want to start doing that. But I need to understand, like, what type of guests should I be bringing on? And I'm not talking about just off-gridders here. I'm talking about people that are in the financial industry to help us understand how to protect ourselves as homesteaders and put ourselves in a better position. I'm talking about, people that are tradesmen that could share stuff. What are things? What are types of people what types of industry would you like me to tuck a buck with the fryer, promote $1 super chats? I don't know if I can do $1 super chats. I don't know if one of you guys could try it out. If we can do $1 super chat, we'll do tokens all day long. It was a great sunrise with the green backlighting. Yeah, that's actually teal, or yeah, something like that. Get fried with tuck. Yeah, that's what tomorrow is going to be. So I needed to have some time to kind of like sit back and take a deep breath today. I put out 2 videos, plus a live stream, plus doing a second live stream, getting prepared for that. I needed to be able to go because I'm starting to run myself so ragged that oh crap, what did I do with it? There it is. All right. Well, okay, so we're getting towards the end of the live stream. This is when because at this point, most people that watch it don't make it this far to begin with. Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. Ah, oh, my ass. That didn't sound right. My neighbor, he had a dream he was skiing. So, oh, that's what I see in sunrise. That's dope. Green lighting, essentially. Yes. Yeah, I can do 99 cents. Okay, tuck a buck. Yeah, I mean, because I thought that the lowest that you could do is like $3, but I thought that maybe you can do if you can do 99 cents, we'll start doing like little 99-cent drives. Like if we can get, I don't know, we'll figure some stuff out. Okay, like be able to send out a group list of I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure out what to do. But anyways, let's see. That's so too. Chill occasionally, work hard, repeat. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know how to slow down. Hardcore rebels. Yes. If you guys, when Joanna, she's probably at work or she's been complaining she's not getting the notifications lately. So I got to start sending her a text message, letting her know that I'm going live because I know she likes to be here. What percentage of that would you actually end up having? Um, I'd only get like 60 cents of it from $1. Because they keep 70, or excuse me, they keep 30% and I get 70 cents. So for every dollar, so if you give me $10, they get 3, I get 7. That's why it's better you come over to Patreon because you give them 10, I get like 8.5. Okay, with processing fees and then the fees that they charge me. So it's much like if you're talking about fees, and if you really want to just send me money instead of doing any of that, and you just want to contribute, because here's the thing. I need to see how much money I can save this month and next month. Um, because I am really trying to save up to get this to start working on the roof of my trailer. Okay, because I gotta get it done before July. So we've got May, we've got June. So I've got the next 2 months to be able to raise as much money as I possibly can. Matthew the King. Thank you, Matthew. All right. So $1.49 is what you're able to put in incoming. Pull out that G-string, buddy. Rolls of pennies. uh, mm. But I need to save as much as I possibly can. With that whole thing. So so yeah, that's my number one thing is I need to be able to get that. So that was part of the reason why I wanted to do a big push with Stephanie, is because it's like, okay, I've been so busy that I'm just kind of getting the things as I can, like all the side stuff, and just focusing on what will make me money right now. And now that I had a free moment, I was like, okay, this is something that will make me money over time as well. So I need to start, proposing it and stuff like that. But Stephanie is a good person. She's a great person to work with. I really enjoy her. Like I said, we text back and forth several times throughout the month. Mm. Okay, they're cool. I just like trees. Okay, nice, Matthew King. Look at you go. Okay, rolls of pennies. Okay, so yes, very cool, Matthew. Yes, thank you. Um, but uh, uh, it is what it is. Yeah. Anyways, so I need to get industries and interviews. So please tell me, what types of people do you want to see me interview so I can start making connections with these types of people over the next few days and try and see if I can get 1 or 2 interviews a week until I can get an interview a night to go along with my news segment. Because a lot of you are correct when you say that interviews will help the channel grow, give me authority and stuff like that. So I want to be able to kind of start into investigative reporting on a little bit of that, and kind of work on that. I'm kind of curious, what would interest you? Up north kid. Okay, random. Okay, anyone ever throw pennies on the ice when Zamboni? No. Oh, I did not know that. Tug Chill, you're doing a great job. You got this. Thanks. Okay. Okay. How about interviewing Elon Musk? That would be, that would be that. Yeah, there's everybody wants to interview Elon Musk right now. But yeah, I'll try. I'll make an effort. Um, I wanna also start interviewing start interviewing probably politicians as well. I know that election season's coming up, and I want to be able to, and we can, oh, oh, it just, yeah, that would be something else. It'd be nice to be able to do something like that. That might be fun. Trying to find the asshole that screwed up the edge of my skates. That search goes on. Oh wow, smart ass. I can recommend someone to interview, but they'd probably want to meet you on their panel first. Um, okay. If you want to connect me with them, Matthew, go for it. I mean, the least, at the bare minimum, if you want me to interview somebody and you've got direct connection to them, let me have a talk with them. Let's see if we can find something, because they may want to talk about topics I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable, or vice versa. Or we may not see eye to eye, and it may not actually be beneficial and stuff like that. There's reasons for that, but I have no problem trying to work something out with somebody. And sometimes I have to go over on theirs. Like, I went over to All American Prepper before he came over here. Okay, so he wanted to interview me first. So interview with Sam, that would be neat. If I could put lips on her and and make her talk, yeah, I'd actually have typed out responses. We'd do our own little ventriloquist thing. That would be messed up and funny at the same time. Be a little freaky. Dog talking. Did you know that AI can now talk to dolphins? Which end? Oh, Jesus Christ. Thanks, Beth. That's a good one. Okay. So, um, mm, um, the gassy one. No, that that no. I'd have to make a short out of that one, because that doesn't last very long. But yeah, no, we could. Any other types of guests? Channel mascot. Yes. I need to get Sam on here more, but she keeps wanting to wander off, and so when I get distracted, last thing I want her is like down there in the neighbor's yard, or in my bucket, or where she's not supposed to be. I'm thinking Sam could talk that Tuck would be in jail. Dogs are narcs. Why do you? Oh yeah, because of the yeah, I get it. Mm. Yeah, they're always snooping through everything. Look what I found. You wouldn't believe this. Yeah, yeah. So, okay. Well, guys, I want to say, I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Are you drinking left-handed so we can read your mug? I'm actually drinking right-handed, okay? And yes, so that I can do the mug, because I'm actually left-handed. This is my left hand, actually. It's kind of weird because the way that the camera mirrors, but this is my left and this is my right. I'm actually a lefty. A cat would never snitch to the cops. You're right. That damn cat would be like, I didn't see nothing. I was sleeping all day. He pets me and feeds me. Leave me alone. Um. Okay. Truth. Okay. Um. mm. Yeah, I think that's why I like cats more than I like dogs. Cause yeah, Sam has almost gotten me caught when I'm trying to stealth camp a couple of times, man. I'm telling you, that right there is something else. Hey, so do you guys like this background? It seems like we had a lot more people that were interested for quite a lot longer. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this background? Because this is probably going to be where I'm going to be doing my nightly newscast. As long as I don't have 60-mile-an-hour winds, and as long as it's decent weather. Like when it gets cold, I'm not going to be out here. I'm going to be in the trailer. I might, if I'm rich enough by then, because I like the lighting. Yeah. You like, well, yeah, that's my morning one. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing I do is I look up the most recent story. And so with one eye half open, I'm like, okay, I can talk about this one. This one's easy. I usually, because I went through my top 5 news stories today, I'm like, okay, that's the one I could talk about immediately, and I don't need to go do any real research because I know the subject pretty deeply. And so that's what you're getting in the mornings is like one eye half open, one eye open, and just like, yeah, hey guys, welcome back, rebels. I'm like half asleep when I'm doing that because I just woke up like not even 15 minutes ago. It's but hey, that's the mornings. I last night I went to bed so early. I actually woke up at about 4:30, but I didn't want to get out of bed until my alarm went off. A little before sunset is a great time in general. Yeah, but that's not till like 7 o'clock, and the sun sets over there, and my window is over there for the sunrise. So that's why I do the sunrise versus the sunset, because like the sun's got another couple of hours before it shuts down. At least another hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Oh, no, I would say about 3 hours. It seems like, I don't know, that sun might be setting fast too. So, I don't know. Um, are there land rules about building these wind walls you mentioned? Um, it depends. This area, the wind walls, I don't think so, because everybody has to have something like that. We get 60, 75-mile-an-hour winds out here on the regular. Okay. That's why I moved the trailer further down the hill and behind some trees, is to kind of keep it from getting moved from one side to the other, or to keep it from being pushed. And I got a tree right behind me in case I do get pushed. Plus I got the jacks on the back, so it keeps it from being flipped, because during the winter, the wind comes from there. During the summer, the wind comes from there. So most of this broadcast, we've actually had probably about good 10, 15-mile-an-hour winds in my back. That's why I changed it this way. So, but it is what it is. But as far as those, I don't think that there would be any rules. One of the things that they say that you need to have out here, though, is you're going to have to get a septic, or you're going to have to find some sort of rules around it. Once I get to a point where I can find where I've got this property half paid off, I'm gonna mosey down to the whatchamacallit. I'm gonna mosey down to the county office and start looking at their rule. I'm gonna go into the permits office and ask them like a bunch of rules and stuff like that. It's like, hey, look, I want to do this. What are your rules around this? What do I have to comply with, and what permits do I need, if I need any, so that I can get it inspected? Because I'm watching the way that this water drains. I'm not gonna pay $50,000 for a septic tank. This water, there's it doesn't drain well. I think that there's some probably a lot more clay here than necessary. Just keep 3 to 4 feet. You can have an outhouse. It's about bedtime. Well, you have a good night, Bucknut. Sandbags make cheap walls. You can coat them with stucco. Yeah, but I kind of want to keep somewhat of the natural landscape, so that's why I'm going to build a rock wall. And Samantha, she smells something. Don't make me go over there. What are you smelling? What are you getting all pissy about? I see you. Oh, you guys want to see her ridge? Let's see if we can get it. Okay, so you see, where is she? You see the ridge on her back? Hold on. Ugh. So you see that ridge on her back? Okay, that's why she's Rhodesian Ridgeback. That's how you know. Because every other dog is just their mane, but for her, she also has that ridge come up as well. Oh crap. Yeah, so Yeah. Anyways, Alrighty then. Um. Okay. I thought you were in Australia for some reason. No, he's in Michigan. So pluggable. Can you have an outhouse? I don't know. Just keep it under 3 to 4 feet. Um. Okay, it's about bedtime. Okay, so sandbags make cheap wall stucco. Okay, so I already covered that. But here's the thing. Can I have an outhouse? I think I can. But it's not going to be an outhouse. It's going to be a like a. Okay, so like on the AT, I saw something. It was like it was composted. Like basically you take like what I have with my bucket, but it was just a wooden structure, and it was aired out and everything else like that, and I had a cage so that the animals couldn't get in it. And so therefore it would compost down into dirt, and so as all the campers would come by, you'd use it. But that toilet seat does not stay very sanitary, and I got a couple of UTIs from that. So I generally try and stay away from it. But if it was just my own and it was just me, it would be clean enough. I wouldn't have to worry about it because some of these kids on trail, man, they're not clean at all. But yeah, something like that to have an outhouse would probably be where I'm gonna go, or something along those lines, a composting outhouse, because I want to be able to, because from what I understand is if I keep mixing it and I start adding some of this other stuff to it, that I can, after a couple of years, I can get some real black dirt, and which is fertile soil. And so I want to get to that point, and I want to use everything I have on hand, because I'm debating whether or not to just get me a 40-pound bag of dirt, or just buy me some seeds, and just fill up this little area right here with just a little bit of dirt to kind of give it something to be able to sit on, and just kind of start growing, because here in the next few months, after like when harvest comes around and we start expecting a lot of our food to show up, unless it's going to be shipped domestically, which that's going to be the only thing that's going to save us. I think we're going to have a major food shortage here in the States. um, and unless we force our farmers to keep it local, to keep it home, and that would probably be the best thing for the farming community as well. But I think that if you have the ability to get a garden started, start it immediately, because with the global war about to happen, with the Civil War breakdown, with the supply chain, and all the stuff going on with the trade war, you need to have something. So an outdoor shower would be cool to water plants. Yeah, part of the like where the trailer was, like all that grass was starting to turn green because of that. So I'm gonna, yeah, I gotta, I don't know. I might start putting a catcher down there and then using that to water my plants, because like when I do my shower and when I do my dishes and stuff like that, because it's just a little bit of soapy water. It's not a lot of soapy water. Um, but I think that might provide enough stuff. So Bob Wells, who's been on the, yes, I know who he is. Still opts for bucket. Yeah, but is he homesteading now, or is he still on the road? Because he did van life for like 20 years. Did he finally get off the road and finally get a piece of property? You can make a small gray water system with a drain pipe. Yes, I could. And I could definitely look at doing something like that, because I mean, it'd be great to be able to water my plants that way, and just to kind of have it come directly there, because I'm probably maybe 20 feet at most between where my drain is and where the flower where the first one is, and the second one's probably going to have to be over here, because I got to move the uh, with the way that the wind is now, kind of where I know where everything is, I gotta make some arrangements. But I won't be able to start working on any of this until Thursday. So yeah, he bought a piece of property. Still is. Okay, cool. Make a small gray water system. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning. We are going to make it public. Okay. So on Mondays and Fridays is when the morning live stream will be over on Patreon. We'll do that for a while so that we can get everybody primed to go to the morning the morning thing over on Patreon. And we'll slowly integrate everybody over there, because we need to have a few people that are coming over there and watching. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning, same bat time, same bat channel. What's the documentary? It's called, what is it called? Nomadland. That's it.